method of business would persist until the formation of the National Wrestling Alliance in 1948. The NWA as a central governing body, with its singular, undisputed world champion, would be absolute and undeniable. This control, combined with the expansion of the interstate highway system, and the inevitable popularity and availability of regional television, would usher in an era of wrestling that was defined by what would come to be known as the territory system. The territory system would dominate wrestling for nearly 4 decades. While the borders, authority, popularity, and obedience of individual NWA territories was in a near constant state of flux, to this day the impact and influence of these territories is still felt. Each territory had its own signature promoter and star. While it is impossible to cram these characteristics into a static, concrete map, we are damn sure going to try anyway.
So open up your eyes way before it gets too late. Now one man, there's no way you can. And with the street lights running, don't give a damn. A simple explanation that you'll never find. Sinners never sacrifice. We never leave love alone. Is hate really worth the price? Look at what we've done. Never cared for compromise. Always threatening someone's life, and it feels like the end of the world.
All right, welcome to This Week in Pro Wrestling with your hosts, Mike Monte and Jimmy Pharaoh. Another week in the wrestling books, my friends.
Yep. Exciting, too.
I will tell you, AEW, I really need you to weigh in here. They're making their move. We knew that there was going to be a unification bout, supposedly at their upcoming pay-per-view, which people were, well, the AEW marks were, I didn't mean to
Marking
use the word
out.
marks, but CM Punk against John Moxley. But just last night, they announced that CM Punk, John Moxley, unification bout, live, regular television,
Free TV?
next Wednesday night
Free
on
TV.
Dynamite.
Wow. That's awesome. I think that's cool. Don't you think that's cool? We're getting a big-time main event match for free. Okay.
Were you able to see their exchange
I did.
between the two? Your thoughts?
I did see their exchange. I thought their exchange was awesome. I did. I enjoyed it. But here's where I didn't enjoy it. I started to laugh. The brawl itself, it did not match the intensity of their going back and forth.
Well, tell me about the back and forth. Did you feel that...
You be the heart and soul. I'll be the dollars and the cents.
Who had the better exchange? Who had the better...
Probably,
was Moxley made
honestly,
to look like he can't really work on the mic when compared to a CM Punk? Or do you think that CM Punk was outshined by Moxley?
Here's what's weird. I just quoted Punk's line because I really enjoyed that one the most of the exchange. But I do feel like John did better than Punk. How about that? Isn't that weird?
Really?
I thought Moxley did pretty damn good on that mic, you know? But I thought when they started brawling, didn't really grab me much. I was like, this is it, you know? I don't know. I didn't feel those. Look at them, they're throwing the haymakers. Didn't really look like, I don't know. It was okay.
I thought
the back and forth was great.
I thought
the brawl was
I thought it was a good verbal exchange.
Yes.
But again, unfortunately, the WWE homer comes out on me all the time because every time they drop a curse word, I think to myself, well, you know, it's almost, all right. Remember when Howard Stern was on regular terrestrial radio?
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't curse,
right?
So they would do all these workarounds,
right?
And it always made it funnier when he went to Sirius,
right?
Then he just dropped every F-bomb he wanted to and everything else, and it kind of lost its effectiveness.
Wasn't quite the same.
And like last night, I thought to myself, well, they're dropping the word shit a lot, and you know, and I'm like, well, I don't know. It didn't seem as good.
Yeah, well, it's a shortcut, isn't it, to give edge to give edge to
But
what
when
they're
does
presenting.
the edge get lost?
I don't know. That's a great question. We don't know that in WWE, obviously. Do you think that that's going to get blurred a little bit now that Triple H is doing
No.
it? You think we're going to have any of that? Probably not, right?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Blood, though.
The
We'll have blood.
No, I don't think you're gonna have blood.
We're going to have any blood with
You
Triple
might,
H in charge?
You might have
I think
one
we will.
here or there. I don't think it's gonna happen often.
It won't
because-
happen just to happen.
Well, let's put it this way.
I think that's what we're getting at with cursing.
They're making billions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
They've never made. Look, WrestleMania is almost sold out, and it hasn't. There's not one match has been announced yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the product again. For the regular wrestling person that goes, I don't like it, whatever else.
WrestleMania
You are
sold out at
you're
a
in a
rapid
minority, man. If you're an AEW fan, you are in the minority. So
Yeah.
what I mean by that, AEW wrestling is not WWE wrestling.
Of course not.
It's the minor leagues, and I understand there's some major league players within that
Okay.
organization.
Okay.
But it is the minority.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the way we both looked at TNA, even during TNA's heyday, right? It's not the major league. It's not.
It's not. There's some enjoyable things
I don't
about
know
it.
if minor league is fully, like, when you say minor league, the Mark and me, like, I'm just being honest. The Mark and me
Sure.
goes, ooh, what do you mean minor?
Right.
I don't feel like it's minor league. I do feel like it's major league, but let me use this analysis. The WWE is the NBA and has always
You
been
know what? You think
the
just like
NBA.
me. You think just
and
like me.
AEW is the little ABA.
Exactly. Or
About to
WWE
be
is
probably
the NFL or the USFL.
There you go.
Right? Your
That's what
alternative.
that's what
Your
I'm getting
alternative. You hit it right in the
Yeah,
head.
minor league to me is that schlep we saw wrestling out in the firehouse with the overalls on that was supposed to be somebody from the Boondocks or something.
Right.
That's minor league.
You know, it's funny you talk about the brawl.
No disrespect to that either.
We're
I'm
going
just
to talk
stating it
about something else
like it
in a
is.
second, but one thing that's not mentioned in the script is Jungle Boy
Yeah.
and Christian have an exchange.
Right.
And it was pretty good. Like, you know, Willie drew him in, and obviously Jungle Boy doesn't, and he attacks Christian, which is great. Mm-hmm. But just like the brawl with CM Punk and Moxley, the punches were weak.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Yep.
It was bad.
Yep.
Now, Christian, I thought, did a better job. Well, Jungle Boy ramming Christian's head into the stairs
That
at
was-
least was a little
That
good.
was pretty good. Yeah.
Here's something that was really bad. For every good, there was a bad.
Right.
Christian throws Jungle Boy into the railing.
Right.
The railing
Right.
is cloth with metal. There's no effect. Like, and they're like, "Oh, he threw him into the
Into the
what
cloth?
What did you throw him
With
into?
metal?
The cloth.
The cloth.
You threw him into the AEW banner.
Some rough Velcro on that cloth. Maybe it's Velcro. No? It was cloth. Just
But
simple
that-
old cotton
again,
cloth.
You don't. You know,
I know,
when
yeah.
everybody critiques the WWE, they critique the WWE, and they give it some tough stuff. And in the AEW land, all that's forgotten.
Of course it is. But then again, I just watched two 50-year-olds throw haymakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, this is the greatest thing ever. If two 50-year-olds were throwing haymakers in WWE, we've got ourselves a, problem.
Well, I take back last week's comment that CM Punk was beefing up because he had a tank
yeah,
top on.
I looked at him and I was like, this isn't the beefy thing Mike told me.
Yeah,
I'm not even seeing
I guess I just had it through CM Punk glasses.
beefy, meat bony. Okay.
Great writing by Tony Khan as he wants to beat the Mysterio gimmick to the punch.
Okay.
Gun Club turn on their father, Billy Gunn. During Wednesday night's episode of AEW Dynamite, the Gun Club, Austin and Colton, picked up a quick win over the Varsity Blondes, which was ridiculous. It was like they beat them up in 10 seconds. Yeah, talk about Brian
You
Pillman
hear
Jr.
it? Do you hear that? That's a toilet flushing and flushing.
Yeah,
and
there-
guess who's going down the bowl? Brian Pillman Jr.
Exactly.
Disgusting, by the way, but go ahead.
After the match, Billy Gunn got on the mic and began praising his boys and
Right.
telling them how proud he was for
course he's
stepping over the game.
Of course.
However, they were interrupted by Stokely Hathaway.
Stop!
Good.
He's awesome.
You like that guy?
Stokely Hathaway's a prick.
I don't know.
What a prick. No, I'm serious, though. We always wish for managers, don't we? This guy's a douchebag. That's his deal. He's supposed to be annoying. You want to kill him.
He's like Teddy Long light.
But he's, you know what, though? Teddy was always just such a comic figure. This guy's a douche.
But he's kind of a comic figure too,
I
isn't
guess
he?
you're right.
I don't know.
Wow, I never
Look,
looked
it's
at
okay
Now
you
you've
like
ruined
him.
it for me.
I don't mean- I
was
just like-
excited that there's a manager doing something in the
I
business,
gotcha.
if you understand what I'm
I
getting at. It's a
gotcha.
manager.
So Hathaway
Okay.
gets on a ramp, and
Okay.
before, all of a sudden Austin and Colton attack their own father.
Right.
I thought to
Right,
myself
right,
at the time this is
right.
happening, this is the worst storyline, gimmick, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
First of all, to have a son turn on their father
Right.
is a major thing.
Of course it is.
It's a major thing.
Of course it
and
is.
didn't they have the father turn on the son already once, and they kind of reeled it back because
Right.
he was mad because his sons weren't performing, right?
Right,
So that was
right,
just tough love.
Right.
But now they turn on it. I just was like, talk about got to get to the Dominic
Yeah.
Mysterio thing before they get
Right.
to it.
But here's the difference.
Right.
The Mysterio one
Yeah.
has been building
Yes.
and building,
Right.
and we can't wait. We're wondering every single week, is this the week?
Right.
Is this when it's going to happen? And the biggest difference is that when it does happen, it won't be a second or third story on a fucking televised event. You'll see right away. Dominic turns on his father. It'll be treated like a main event
Sure.
type situation.
Absolutely.
Because it is, and it's been handled that way. And what makes them think that the Gun Club could ever come close to anything involving a Mysterio anyway?
And here's the worst part, though, Jimmy. The
You know?
Acclaim comes out
Right,
to save Billy Gunn.
right.
And Billy Gunn pops up and does the scissors with him. Like, you're your father. Your son's just attacked you.
And
you want to, I'm going to do scissors.
Sure, why not?
Forget it. My son's,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter my son's
I would
beat me
have been
up.
running into the back looking to find and kill them.
How about maybe you're crying that your own son's attacked you?
Well, at least be, all right, either be a fucking remorseful, very sad father
Yeah.
or an angry as fuck father.
Either or.
Can I have either one?
Thank
hey,
you.
man.
With scissor. I mean,
That is...
this is some bad writing. So if you even want to do the Moxley,
That was
CM Punk
emphatic.
thing,
Bad. Very
it was
emphatic.
so... I was like, this is just
Shit.
shit.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, but you know what? Fanboy probably wrote it. How dare you pick on Fanboy?
Well, then you got Thunder Rosa with Tony Storm, and Tony Storm wins the number one contender, and there's Thunder Rosa now on the TV going,
right,
again,
right.
get
Stop.
the woman's title off of her. Stop with the loyalty. She is not even
Boo.
a decent character on the show.
Yeah, I totally agree. I have no interest at all in their women's division, so you know how that goes.
Well, Britt Baker at least made it somewhat
I
interesting.
like Britt Baker. Put the belt back on her. Let her go back to doing what she was doing.
Exactly.
How about that? You
I
know?
agree.
And I do like the women's division in the WWE now. Look what happened to me.
There you go.
So it is what it is.
So it adds up. New report confirms theory about Vince McMahon payments. That seals it. The WWE has been shaken in retirement of Vince McMahon, who has led to the company for the better 40 years. The changes came as a result, as payments made by Vince McMahon and using company funds, right? But guess what, Jimmy?
What?
Right after I read this article,
Yeah.
they have found out that Vince McMahon's payments went to Donald Trump's presidency out of his own money.
Okay.
So a lot of this money where everybody thought that he was handing it out to women for sexual escapades, no.
It was going to
to President Donald Trump.
Interesting. When are they going to leave Vince the fuck alone and let him just
I
retire?
think they're...
Can they leave him the fuck alone
So,
now?
again, you're in week 3.
I want him to be playing golf and shelling out.
Are we in
easier
week
and that.
3
Leave
of the
him alone
Triple
already.
H era now?
I think so, something like that. I'm enjoying the
Do
shit
you
out
know
of
the
it.
difference now? Vince Russo came out and said he doesn't see a
don't give a
difference in the show.
He doesn't see a difference in the fucking show. Vince Russo
Well,
doesn't.
you tell me, what do you see the difference
Well, first of all, there's more wrestling, okay?
All right.
But Vince Russo wouldn't know that.
Right.
Because Vince Russo doesn't know about wrestling.
doesn't do wrestling,
Vince knows how to write a fucking soap opera
Right.
or a fucking Crash TV. Vince Russo... Okay, he might have had like this one little quick burst, but I'm sure it was because Vince was saying, okay, I'll take that idea, or
Right.
I'll take that idea. I ain't going to take all your fucking ideas, you dumbass.
Right.
You know? Vince Russo doesn't know the first fucking thing about wrestling. Yeah, you. You don't know the first fucking thing about wrestling. There's been a lot more wrestling. The storylines are much more patient. They look like they're going to lead to long-term, some of these storylines that he's starting to kick off. He's bringing in characters that he built from scratch. A lot of, like, the Karrion Kross thing is very cool.
Sure.
There's a lot of good shit going on with Triple H. He doesn't see a difference. It's pretty obvious. He ain't been watching.
Right.
Vince and Triple H are so different from each other. For him to say that he doesn't see a difference is moronic, because there is a difference in their
So you like the
approaches.
fact there's more wrestling?
I do like the fact that there's more wrestling, but I also like the fact that Triple H hasn't lost sight of entertaining people. Shows have been great. They're going by much faster, in my opinion.
I would say that. I would agree
I'm
with the 3
enjoying the
hours.
shit out of what Triple H is doing. Triple H is this is what I love the most about Triple H. He's not a fucking indie wrestling mark, but he's also not everything must be Ringling Brothers. He's in the middle. And what's that old saying? Somewhere in the middle lies the truth.
Do you like that he's bringing back these
Love what he's doing.
NXT guys?
Yes, I do. I do. And I think that years ago, I think that Triple H we might have been looking at a very different WWE today. But do I think that Roman Reigns would have still pretty much been what he was? Yeah, I do. Triple H loves Roman Reigns. He was, you know what I mean? He's exactly what Triple H prefers the most out of a wrestler. Triple H is very influenced by his father-in-law. He always will be. So I think we're going to get the best of his father-in-law's good shit, and there's plenty of that when it comes to the great Vince McMahon. And we're going to have plenty of Triple H's great shit. Look, Triple H did a great job with NXT. He really did. When he was fully running it before his health failed him,
Right.
and the imaginary ratings war or whatever the fuck they thought they were having, Triple H built him. Do you realize Triple H took a brand from nothing? And we went and saw it at Barclays. That little thing that he took from nothing, sell out the goddamn Barclays Center for SummerSlam weekend.
This is
3 years in a row.
This is true.
Triple H did an amazing job with NXT. I think that he's going to be fantastic, and he's been so far. We're in good shape, bro. We're in good shape.
Well, with this, that's This Week in Wrestling. Enjoy SmackDown tomorrow and tonight, I mean, and Rampage.
Yeah, Friday.
Join the 200,000 people that watch it, Rampage on Friday nights.
Yeah,
So
we're
go,
right up their ass.
When will you see Sasha Banks and Naomi?
At the end of the tag team tournament, the new winners are declared. I think it's going to be Dakota and
Gotcha.
Io Sky.
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to be celebrating. And kaboom, the music is going to hit, and they're going to walk the fuck out there. And that's how the show's going to close.
So is that going to be heel against heel? Well, no, it would be good. Yeah,
They're going to return. People are going to be clapping for them no matter what.
Agreed.
So could you imagine?
Agreed.
And then you close the show that way, and that gives you something to tune into next week. That's right, Next Week in Wrestling. You've been watching This Week in Wrestling. And, of course, until Next Week in Wrestling, later.